heartaches, more pain, and more bad experiences. That's why we need God, who is capable of helping to sort things out in our understanding and causing us to bypass these three governing things that makes up our understanding. And see, when we involve God, amen, He will help us to make good decisions. He will help us to make wise choices. He will help us to make better judgment. But you have to lean on Him and not on your own understanding. So if you want to stop traveling around that same old mountain again and again and again and going nowhere, you need to stop leaning on your own understanding and start leaning on God, who will never fail. See, God, who is strong enough, God, who is sturdy enough, God, who is solid enough, God, who can give you enough support, will be able to hold you up when you lean on Him. That God will hold you up when you lean on Him. Let me go to my third point. Not only must you completely put your confidence in Him and understand that your understanding is insufficient, but the final condition here is, if you want God to be the navigator of your life, you must talk to Him before you decide what you're going to do. Look what He says. He said, acknowledge what? The Lord in all thy ways. See, to acknowledge God is not you nodding in the way of God, but it is you actually talking to Him and asking Him what His views are and what He would have you to do. It is not making a decision and then acknowledging Him. And this is what many of us do. We make our decisions first, and then we talk to God, asking Him to work out our decision that we have made for our good. When in fact, that decision that we have made isn't the decision that God wanted us to make. See, understand this. God is not obligated to fix what we mess up. If He does, that's the grace of God. And you ought to give Him praise for that. You ought to thank Him greatly for that. But there are times when God will allow you to go through the consequences of the decision that you have made to show you what happens when you leave Him out. Look at what he said here. He didn't say just acknowledge God, but He said acknowledge Him in all of thy ways. This is where many of us get it twisted. We acknowledge God in some of our ways. See, we acknowledge Him in those ways that doesn't mess with our fleshly desires. We acknowledge Him in those ways that doesn't force us out of our comfort zone. We acknowledge Him in those ways that doesn't challenge our life and our lifestyle. As long as it doesn't touch on those things that are dear to us, we will acknowledge Him. But to acknowledge Him in all of our ways means that there is nothing that we leave out. There is nothing too big or too small for me to take to him. Sometimes we think that it is those big things that we ought to take to God only. You know, God, where should I move? What city should I live in? What career should I go down and take it? Which college should I attend? Who should I marry? You know, some of those big things, we look at those as big things that we need to talk to God about. But sometimes it is those small decisions.
Yes.
Those little things. Those decisions where we say, I'm strong enough to handle that. Or I'm wise enough to handle this. Or I'm careful enough to not let that happen to me. I don't need God for this thing because it's a small thing and I can deal with that. But I want to let you know those small things you have to watch out for because they're small in nature, but they're big in their after effects. They may start off as a spark, but later on they'll turn into a blazing fire. So you better watch out for those small things. And you better talk to God about those small things. See, some of us have gotten entangled with those small things, and we're wondering why we are where we are. It's because we thought we could handle it without God. We thought we could make it without God. My brothers and sisters, I want to let you know, don't ever think that there's anything that you have to decide on is too small for God. I want to let you know, you take everything to God. Because see, you may be looking at it as small, but God sees the total picture of that thing. And God said, you're looking at it as small, but I want to let you know there's stuff around the corner that's waiting to eat you up. There's stuff around the corner that's waiting to trip you up. There's stuff that's down the street ready to pull you down. God said those small things, you need to pray about those as well. Those small things, you need to talk to me about that as well. Because those things can trip you up.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes. Amen.
He says, acknowledge him
Yes.
in all your ways. And I heard one preacher say, all means all. And that's all means. So if you're wondering what all means, that's what it is. Nothing left out. Because I want to let you know, see, when you bring God into the equation, when you bring God into your decision making, he will help you to get through that. Because see, God has eyes where you can't see. He has ears where you can't hear. He has wisdom where you're unwise. He has knowledge where you're ignorant. He has power where you're weak. He said, if you just acknowledge me in all your ways, here's the promise. He said, if you do that, I will direct your path. He said, if you do these three conditions, if you put your total confidence in him, if you realize that your understanding is insufficient, and if you do not make a decision without him, he said, I will direct your path. He said, I will guide you through life. He said, if there is a hindrance up ahead, I'll guide you around that. He said, if there's obstacles over there, I'll get you through that. And you know what God said? If there's something I need to take you over, I'll take you over. He said, I will make your path straight. That's what direct your path is. He said, I'll make it straight. In other words, God said, you know what? I'll make your life better.
Oh, yes.
If you involve me in it. talking to the Lord. My life has been a whole lot better since I've been calling on the Lord. See, the Lord has saved me from some heartaches. He has saved me from some embarrassing moments. The Lord has saved me from a lot of things. And it's because I have been acknowledging Him in all my ways. And He's been directing me. The path, I tell you, the thing about it is when God directs you, He is guiding you on the journey that He has in store for you. And if He has it in store for you, He's going to make sure that He gets you there. And